hackathon requires a lot of patience and focus.
Save people from those accidents.
Traffic laws are loosely.
We're actually having an external device.
What is the verification mechanism?
The team sweating it out were judged on their innovative skills as well as the practicality of the ideas. It was interesting to see how dedicated these young minds of the country were in order to fight the menace of increasing road fatalities.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed by these students. They are 9th, 10th, 11th. They don't even carry a valid license, but they are talking about the solutions of the road safety, which is enormous. The passion which they had. In 21 hours, they were even able to give some prototypes. They developed the cars, they developed app, which is phenomenal. So I'm really impressed by our youth, and I'm pretty confident that our future, with the use of technology, they will make the change in the society which we are looking for.
These are very important since you have involved the school-going children who are in the class 8 to 12. So it's very important they will learn about the road safety. In a few years, they are going to drive the two-wheelers or the four-wheelers. So it's very important for them to learn how to drive the vehicle on the road and observe the traffic rules on the road while driving the vehicle.
11 groups from various schools presented their ideas in front of the jury.
So now let's outline the problem first, okay? Every year, 1.35 million people die due to road traffic accidents, and speeding is responsible for more than half of these road traffic accidents. In India especially, road traffic laws are loosely enforced and unacceptable driving habits lead to multiple deaths and injuries every day. We know this, we've all seen this, we've all been on the roads. Some of us have driven, some of us haven't, but we all know what the state of driving in India is.
So we put our minds to this issue and we came up with a solution. So we realized that in today's day and age, almost every car owner has a smartphone because if you can afford a car, you can most likely afford a smartphone. So what the Vector app does is it changes all of this by gathering the sensory stimuli, and it basically collates it to determine how we can improve the user's driving habits and how we can make them safer. So after the users finish their drive, we offer them suggestions as to how they can become safer. And also during the drive, if there's like any urgent thing, like for example, if there's like a passenger or say a pedestrian who's come right in front of the car, then it'll like play a loud warning to ensure that the person notices that and they stop. Then the next feature is back camera, which is vision. It basically uses machine learning and artificial intelligence to search for pedestrians to make sure that the driver is at a safe distance.
We have planned to design a zebra crossing which will also have this feature, so that when a person will be walking through the zebra crossing, if a car is passing by foggy weather, the LED lights of the zebra crossing starts to glow up, so that the person who is driving the car comes to know that there is a person who is walking on the zebra crossing and doesn't run into him.
This notifies that you have had a hard braking, which means that you might have had an accident. Because in an accident, you go from 80 to 0 in a split second. So in this, after 3 minutes, it automatically calls up the emergency services. Also, you can click on this app, and then it calls up emergency automatically.
I have two questions for you. One, what is the verification mechanism if someone is putting that as a pothole and there is not? That is one. Second, what if the pothole has been fixed? Because practically no one is going to update that yesterday there was a pothole and now it has been fixed. So how do we cover that?
So we dealt with this in the code itself. For example, the first thing, how are we going to detect that the person is fake or not? So the last feature that we showed you, the person driver license identification, we are going to implement this in the future using machine learning so that we can identify from the driver license, and so that we can identify the face of the person and the name, and then we'll be matching those with the name that he signed up with.
We have made a project that's the accident monitor, and most of the people here have dealt with the problem that how to reduce the number of road accidents. Like there are a large number of road accidents today and how to reduce them. But this is a problem which can't be eradicated to zero. So even if we implement all these, there will be some road accidents. And to save people from those accidents, those few, to make this number zero, the number of deaths zero, this is our project named Accident Monitor. This device will call the ambulance and give the details to the police so that nobody has to, like, they don't have to call the ambulance for them. So this is like automatically the the first responders will get the location that where they have to be present at the moment.
What we're trying to do here is that instead of internally installing separate systems that would cater to separate problems that cause road accidents, we are actually having an external device. So my friend would take you through the project.
So for combating sleep deprivation, we are using DLib and OpenCV. What it does is it calculates the aspect ratio, and if the aspect ratio is below a threshold, it triggers a notification that a driver is sleeping. Then it starts beeping, and then what it does, it fetches the coordinates using reverse geocoding. Then it uses the Zomato's API to find the nearest restaurant or any tea or coffee shop, so the driver can rejuvenate. And then next we have for combating drunk driving. If the car is around any liquor or alcohol shops for n number of times, what it does, it triggers a notification for the driver to take a breathalyzer test. The breathalyzer module would be in the headless unit. So if he takes it and he fails the test, then the program asks the driver that it's not safe, and the program can book an Uber for him. If he doesn't, if he ignores that and doesn't take a test, what it does first, it sends a text to an emergency contact, and after 5 minutes, if he still continues, then it sends the vehicle's details to the correct authorities so they can watch him over.
Our product has a very wide target audience. We're a very consumer-focused company as such, and it all depends on the community. And we've found that the community is a very good way of doing anything, and that's why we find Marg is a very good way to expand into other fields as well, like expanding into stuff like preventing people from entering places where rape or kidnapping or theft is common, for example. So Marg is currently a progressive web app which consumes JSON via PHP MySQL backend, and the front end uses Facebook's cutting-edge framework, React.
We made our prototype on a mobile phone. We made a working Android app called Plothole, and it basically uses so for example, if you're driving straight in a car, our phone usually does not move. And when we face a jerk or any accident, a jerk or any big pothole, it obviously shakes. And it uses basically the gyroscope and accelerometer for that. And we made our website, which is the key highlight here. All the data recorded from that goes to the website and it updates in real time.
What we have done is that we have designed a solution to this problem by implementing the use of ultrasonic sensors on cars. Yeah, where the light rays fail, we can use sonar waves to transmit the same information that light waves do. What we have done is connected sonar sensors to the front of the car, which can send sonar waves to the fog and receive them. The time elapsed will be calculated and noted down. The distance can be then figured out by simple mathematics.
The students did show their creative side and presented some really interesting solutions.
Third position goes to Team HACKOLICS.
At the end of the jury presentation, 3 winners were chosen who were rewarded with a medal and a cash prize.
The first position goes to TSRS.
We were working round the clock, which was one of its kind experience. And also to be in a campus of such a high repute, and then uncertain things happening from us coming here to us qualifying and then here bagging the 2nd position.
When we arrived here, we were quite excited to see the IIT Delhi campus because we are aspiring to be here in a few years. So it was a great experience for us that we are here. I really found the people here, all the mentors, judges, everyone, they were quite intellectual and they were very active in the participation. The students must be, but they were giving their full efforts from their side.
I think we can both simultaneously agree that this is probably one of the best hackathons that we've attended so far because it has the best vibe to it. For most of the others, they were school-based hackathons where they would make you go home, and that didn't give you the same feeling that this one did. Here, it's just that feeling of community that you get, which you just don't get in many others.
This hackathon was one such effort to curb road accidents in this country and make our roads safe for all. Toyota has engaged with the youth of the country as they are going to be our future road users and can help in educating their peers and parents as well. With great determination and vigor shown by the students, it seems the road to safety will be in safe hands.
Partnered by Times Influence.